Welcome to our channel, where you can update the shocking, dramatic and unforgettable developments in the fascinating TV series Beyond the Gates. If you love emotional stories, unpredictable twists and heart-stopping moments, then you have come to the right place. And now, let's step into a painful and tragic chapter. When Hayley discovers the cruel truth about the man she once loved with all her heart, Bill. Hayley could not have imagined that a day like this would come. Up until now, she had always trusted Bill absolutely. She loved him, gave him her full trust, and accepted even the flaws that the man carried with him in his life. After so many years of living in a seemingly stable relationship, she never once doubted that the man she was sharing her life with could hide such a bitter secret from her. But everything collapsed in a fateful moment, when the truth appeared undeniable. An irreversible evidence, a series of signs that she had ignored, now became a sharp blade cutting deep into her trust. It all started when Hayley accidentally discovered strange messages on Bill's phone. The messages were saved under a fake name. But her intuition told her that something was wrong. At first, she thought it might be work, or someone was threatening him. But all the positive hypotheses she had put forward were rejected when she followed the trail and discovered the truth. The other woman was none other than Shanice, a name that made Hayley choke when she remembered. Shanice was once a part of Bill's past, a figure that he had said had closed long ago. She had appeared in a turbulent period of his life, a fascinating woman who always sowed chaos in Bill's mind and behavior. Hayley had heard a lot about Shanice, but had never worried because she believed that the man by her side had cut off his ties with the past. However, the harsh truth was right before her eyes. Bill had reconnected with Shanice. Secretly, treacherously, and calculatingly. The evidence that Hayley had collected was not only sweet messages between the two, but also secretly taken pictures, shady money transfers, and even the times Bill had excused himself to go on a business trip but was actually with Shanice at a luxury resort. Each detail was like a piece of broken glass stabbing deep into Hayley's heart, making her no longer recognize the man she once loved. She began to recall the times Bill behaved strangely, the times he quickly turned off the phone when she entered the room, the times he delayed their common plans with vague reasons. It all seemed to be put together into a picture full of lies. And at the center of it was Bill, the person she once thought would be the last peaceful place in her life. The pain came not only from betrayal, but also from the feeling of being insulted and despised. Hayley felt like she was being used as a cover for secret games, turned into a supporting character in the love story she had devoted herself to building. The time after that became heavy. Every second that passed was a struggle between emotions, reason and the instinct to confront. She no longer ate and slept like before, her body became thinner, her eyes became tired and lifeless. Hayley began to avoid friends, refuse appointments, and retreat into the house that was once their home, now a place where painful memories were imprisoned. Familiar objects such as the picture hanging on the wall, the jacket Bill used to put on her shoulder, and the cup of coffee he often made in the morning, all became hidden cuts that made the pain in her seem never-ending. Not long after, another shock came and completely knocked Hayley down. She discovered that Shanice was not only Bill's lover, but also possibly pregnant with his child. This information came from a reliable source, and immediately became a storm that drowned out every last ray of hope in her heart. If she had hesitated about forgiving before, now, it was no longer an option. A child born from betrayal, from a relationship hidden behind her back, was something she could not accept. She felt that everything she had done, sacrificed, waited for and believed in had all become a cruel joke of fate. At that time, Bill still did not seem to fully understand the extent of the damage he had caused. He still tried to cover it up, to seek forgiveness without fully admitting his mistake. He made meaningless excuses, blaming weakness, circumstances, temporary emptiness, without acknowledging that he had chosen to betray. Hayley, in her pain, did not want to hear any more excuses. She did not want to see Bill anymore, did not want to live in the same city, did not want to breathe the same air that he was present in. She wanted to disappear, wanted to erase everything, wanted to save herself from the abyss that man had pushed her into. The following days were a series of times when she struggled with herself. She had to learn to remove Bill's image from her mind. Had to erase the memories, had to erase all traces he left in her life. It wasn't easy, because every corner of her life had his footprints. From the workplace, the mutual friends, even the familiar road she walked every day, all reminded her of him. But she knew, if she couldn't do it, she would never find herself again. She started writing a diary. As a way to relieve the pain that couldn't be put into words. Each page was a curse on betrayal, a cry for help, tears silently flowing into ink. She went to a therapist, not to forgive Bill, but to heal herself. She learned to speak out her pain, to name her buried emotions. And in those therapy sessions, she gradually understood that it wasn't because she wasn't good enough that she was betrayed, but because the betrayer had never deserved her love in the first place. Meanwhile, Shanice began to appear more publicly at events, no longer hiding her relationship with Bill. She appeared triumphant, even somewhat provocative. She knew Hayley was still hurt. And that was what Shanice wanted. Not only did she win the man who used to be Hayley's, she now wanted to prove that she was the absolute winner. But what Shanice didn't know was, Hayley no longer wanted to fight for a man who didn't deserve her. She no longer wanted to fight for anything, but only wanted to take back her own life. The outcome of that love affair was not the reunion or breakup of the people involved, but the rise of a woman who had been pushed to the brink of suffering. Hayley rose from the rubble. Step by step, with wounds still not healed, but her eyes were brighter, and her heart was learning to beat again. She doesn't need Bill, she doesn't need Shanice to disappear. She just needs herself to be strong enough to never return to that dark place again. She doesn't forgive, but she lets go. She doesn't forget, but she doesn't let the past imprison her. And that survival is the greatest victory she has won after all. Thank you for following today's dramatic story. If you want to continue updating the breathtaking twists and unpredictable drama in Beyond the Gates, don't forget to follow and subscribe to our channel now so you don't miss any developments.